Today at Lofty Pursuits and Public Displays of Confection, we're going to make some drop candy using a machine from the late 1800s called a fruit drop roller. This machine was made by Thomas Mills of Philadelphia, and we acquired it from a candy store in Cincinnati that opened in 1848 called Mullane's. There were a lot more drop candies in the late 1800s. Nowadays we still know lemon drops and cough drops. But have you ever wondered why these are called drops? Mullane's hit its heyday between 1870 and 1910 when run by John Mullane. His mother founded the business, and it continued on until 1988 when it closed. In our collection, we have a plaque that was issued to Mullane's for their 100th anniversary in 1948. The machines had not been used for a very long time, possibly since the 1940s. We had to start a pretty extensive restoration process which we developed, and we now provide restoration services for other people with antique candy equipment. One of our prized rollers is a roller that was custom made with John Mullane's signature in it. They used to make hundreds of these rollers, and we had catalogs of different designs. We've acquired quite a few. We're up to almost 100 pairs now that we use on a regular basis to make candy for our customers. There's a lot of brass in each of these rollers. They weigh about 10 pounds a pair, and they're very rare. And one of the reasons we suspect that they're rare is the popularity for using this kind of roller went down sometime before World War II. And during World War II, there were a lot of scrap metal drives. A good quantity of brass would go a long way for defending the troops and making bullets and being used for war effort items. We think there just aren't a lot left because of that. Each pair of these rollers were carefully handmade, and they were indexed with a little arrow to show you how to line them up to make sure both halves matched perfectly. So now it's time to make a batch of candy, and we're going to make a batch of an 1800s flavor that was a secret recipe by Mullane's. They shared it with us when we bought the equipment. It's a flavor called nectar. It's very hard to describe. Sometimes it tastes a bit like pound cake, sometimes it tastes like almonds, sometimes it tastes like other flavors, and it seems to change when you suck on it. It's a delicious flavor, and it's a flavor that translates well into the 21st century. But it's a flavor that we do with these drop rollers that belong to Mullane's out of respect for them. Unlike our image candy, we added the color in the pot. At the same time, we added the flavor. Our bars and the candy cooling table from the late 1800s has dropped the temperature of the candy dramatically where it's touched the metal, but it's still about 320 degrees in the center. We have to fold the candy back and forth and then knead it to even the temperature out to an even temperature that we can work with. We've transferred our hot sugar to a hot table. This table will keep the sugar from cooling too fast and give us time to work with it. The sugar's still pretty hot. It should be well over 230, 240 degrees, and the press will do most of the cooling for us when we use it. We cut the hot sugar into manageable blocks, and we feed it into the drop roller. When the candy comes out of the press, not only is it shaped, but it is cooled dramatically due to the huge mass of these drop rollers that it's been squeezed through. We mount the drop roller machine on our candy cooling table, so when it comes out we can just slide it to the back of the table, and the table itself will complete the cooling of the candy, hopefully fast enough that the shapes are not destroyed. If you're ever in Tallahassee, Florida, you can come to Lofty Pursuits and see us make candy live. If you'd just like to try our candy, you can go to www.pd.net and order some online. Now to answer the question, why are these called drops? Well, the way we separate them out from the flash that connects the pieces is we pick them up and we drop them. They break into individual pieces precisely cut. Cough drops, lemon drops, fruit drops. It's just named after the action of how we separate the pieces. Much of what we do at Lofty Pursuits and Public Displays of Confection with Hot Sugar is just too hot to let the general public participate. But sometimes, and just sometimes, we get somebody in from the audience to help us break up the candy and do the dropping. Shayna here helped us out. When we drop the candy, loose bits of sugar that are remnants of the flash between the pieces come out, and we sift these out to make the candy crisp and clean, and then it's ready to package. You can see our other candy making videos here on YouTube, and you can also subscribe to us. You can also follow us on Facebook, or visit our store at www.pd.net. We look forward to seeing you sometime.